channel. Okay, and today my topic is will be Kotlin, and I'm going to teach you some essential things that you need to know if you don't really know what is Kotlin about. Okay, so without losing any time, let's go and explore what is and understand what is Kotlin. Okay, so Kotlin actually in simple terms is a programming language. But what kind of programming language it is? It is a cross-platform, okay, statistically typed general purpose programming language, and with type interface inference. Okay, and the interesting thing is Kotlin right now is used everywhere. Okay, so it's like a it has become a multi-platform programming language. So in future you will we will be exploring together much interesting like powerful features of Kotlin. But for the moment, let's make the thing simple, and let's try to understand some basic things that you need to understand. That for the moment, we have a stable release of 1.4.10, which was released 2 months ago, and but also we have actually 1.4.20 already, that actually I have installed in my Android Studio plugin version. And file extension is usually just kotlin.kt, and it depends on what kind of file you are creating. And it appeared 9 years ago, so it's completely a mature programming language. Okay, so no need to hesitate to write code in Kotlin. Okay, and it was designed by JetBrains, which are the organization which made Android Studio, the IDE, IntelliJ, so the JetBrains. So it's cool. And okay, before going in depth about implementing programmatically Kotlin, actually I will be explaining you, like I will give you some examples by writing the code and displaying the code. And but first that we have to configure Kotlin in our project. So how do we do that? We have to, if you go to if you have installed Android Studio, go to your Android Studio, in the menu bar, click to tools. Then under the tools we have various sections which is called Kotlin. And this Kotlin, we have various wizards, like for example, if you see various options which is gonna like pop up the wizard to do some configuration. So the first thing is, if you configure Kotlin in the project, it will automatically run a wizard to configure the Kotlin in your project. But for the moment, actually my project Kotlin is already configured. Okay, so no need to worry. Again, if you go to the tools section, Kotlin, then if we have various other options like configure Kotlin plugin updates. So here we will be knowing what kind of plugin version that we have released. Actually, I was telling you stable release was 1.4.10, but I have already installed for the moment 1.4.20. Okay, um, and I'm already updated. So whenever, if you want to update your plugin to the current release version, then you have to update it from this preference section. Okay, and again, let's go to the tools section. And we have also various options like the Kotlin Interpreter, Kotlin REPL. Okay, so if you click that, here we will be writing a demo code, like if you write 1.1 and command enter, you will be executing the code. For the moment, I'm getting this crazy error because actually it's trying to build the whole entire project, okay, which I am here inside it. So but we will get the result here, so no need to worry. And 1 plus 2 command enter is going to result is 3, right? That's okay. So our Kotlin interpreter is ready. So we'll be writing code, and I will be writing code here and explaining you running and giving you a result here. And okay, before that, I would like to give you one interesting concept. The interesting concept is why Kotlin is really amazing. Okay, with respect to Java. Okay, let me give you a simple demo. I will create a Java class. uh, Sorry, I will be creating a Java class which is called product. Okay, and actually in my with my product class, I will be having sorry, in Java we will be writing private string name of the product. Okay, private int price of the product. Okay, And that's it. Okay, and what else? Okay, for the moment we have just two parameters here. Okay, and obviously in Java we have to generate getters and setters, right? As you remember, if you are a Java programmer, actually our code is 25 lines, right? And now the powerful thing about Kotlin is if I convert this Java class to a Kotlin, we will see the difference. Okay, what is the difference? Okay, I will show you the difference. Go to the menu section, code, convert Java file to Kotlin file. Yes, you see it's just 4 lines of code. If you see the previous Java file, it was 25 lines, and compared to the 4 lines of code, so you have a huge difference, you know. And everything is amazing. Like you have a very, and programming is very faster compared to Java. Writing programs is much faster. And also I will explain you some amazing interesting things about Kotlin. That is, we have interesting like null checks. You know, in Java we always used to have a problem of null pointer exception and crashes and stuff like that. But in Kotlin we are trying to avoid all this kind of null pointer exceptions. And actually Kotlin is all the declaration in Kotlin are not null by default. Okay, so it's amazing, guys. So if you are really new to Kotlin, then it is a good time to start Kotlin, learning Kotlin right now. Okay, so now let me go to the Kotlin interpreter, and let me explain you about some basic and but very powerful, amazing thing about Kotlin. Okay, features about Kotlin, I mean to say, some very powerful features of Kotlin. And those are, one is, compared to Java, in Java we used to define the type, right? Whereas in Kotlin we have these two types of variables, that is mutable and immutable. Okay, what are these mutable and immutable variables? So I will explain you. Var is mutable. Okay, mutable variable. And let me assign, actually we have to also declare a type. The type will be int, or you can declare the type int like this, or you can also assign it without the type, because Kotlin is automatically gonna get the type from this value, you know. So it is auto getting the type. Okay, and so this is mutable variable. So okay, let me print this. Okay, it's 4, right? Now let me mutate it. I mean to say, I will change the value. Okay, you see it's mutable. That means like I can change the value, right? And now we will check the val type of variable, that is immutable. At first we have, yeah, we get 3 as a value, that is the initial value, but we would like to change it right now. So that means immutable, and I would like to change it to 7. Sorry, I would like to change it to 7, and let's see if it really works. You see here, val cannot be reassigned because it's immutable type. Okay, val is immutable variable. And that's it. So it will actually help you to stabilize the code, in the sense, write the code in a already try to understand that what is immutable and what is immutable, you know. So it will actually try to differentiate the variables in two categories, like mutable and immutable. So based on your needs, you can declare your variables, you know, based on your need of a programming language, I mean to say. So this is one of the strongest feature of Kotlin. And now the super strongest feature, I mean like the super amazing feature of Kotlin is this handling null, and also nullable and not nullable data types. Okay, as I said, by default is not nullable, but we can always make it not nullable. So var not nullable. Okay, not nullable is, let me assign initially as 3, and then not nullable. Okay, now I will assign it as null. Okay, and I will print the value should be null, right? If I, but as you see here, null cannot be a value of null, not non-null type integer. Okay, so this is a not null type, so by default is a not null type, but we can always make it nullable, right, by doing a simple trick, and the trick is this one, int, and we can assign it to null. That means if you print out right now, it will be a null. If you see this nullable, it has a value null right now. Okay, so this is one of the amazing feature of Kotlin. And now how do we handle null in Kotlin? Okay, so I will explain you this interesting concept of handling null. We can handle null in these 3 different ways, like using a safe call, or using a not null assertion operator, or a bang, that is a double exclamation mark, or elvis operator. So I will explain you in the code how do we implement that. So for that, let me create a class called shop, and actually what we can do, we can make this okay, sorry, we can do one interesting thing is we can also create a function of selling sell item, okay, and return, okay, item -1. If you sell it, you just return item -1, whereas if you buy, we add the item, right? Item int, it is gonna return int, we return item +1. That means if you buy it, you will add it to your product. If you sell it, you sell the product, means you remove the item, right? So the simple concept. Now I will try to actually create a function in the class which is gonna do sell product, which is gonna sell the product, and okay, and now I have to create a product, right? So my var product is of product product type, and this is nullable, that means it's null. Okay, and is okay, so item int. Okay, so what my product is gonna do is sell. So I will sell the product with this item, right, when I call this method. But the problem is, if you see here, I'm having a problem, that is Kotlin is not compiling, it's giving me an error. So the interesting thing about Kotlin is, like, it's already automatically compiling and saying that there is a problem here. There is a problem in the sense, like, we have the code is not compiling yet, so we cannot run it until we fix this error. The error is, it's saying the product is null, and null is trying to call some method, right? Is so it's if the product is null, how can we call a method, right? How can you sell if your product is null? We cannot. But we can still fix this problem by using either we replacing with the safe call. Okay, if you replace with the safe call, what it's gonna do is, it's the product is not null, then it's gonna sell the product. If the product is null, then it does nothing, right? It's not gonna sell it. Okay, So this is the safe call. And you can also use bang. That means it's gonna sell the product, okay, even if it is null or not null, but it's gonna throw the exception if the product is null. Okay, if the product is null, it's gonna throw the exception. If the product is not null, then it's gonna sell the product. Okay, so there is this difference between safe call and not null assertion operator. With safe call, our application do not crash. There is no not null pointer exception here. Whereas the important thing that you have to understand is when you use this operator, that is not null assertion operator, with this double exclamation mark, your application is gonna throw exception. Okay, so when your application throws exception, that means it's gonna crash. Okay, so based on your need, you have to use not null operator or safe call to handle null pointer exception, right? So to handle null in Kotlin. So this is the two ways that you have to understand. So now about albis operators. To use the albis operator, okay, let me do something like let me assign this as also null. That means your item can be also null. Okay, so how can we handle this? Because this item is of type nullable type, right? So this item can be null. So what we can easily simply handle is we can say item, if it is not null, give this item, otherwise give me 0, that is 0 items, right? So that this is the way how to use the albis operator to handle the null in Kotlin. So this is also another way. So what albis operator is gonna do is gonna give you the sell the item. If it is not null, sell this item with this value. If it is not null, if it is null, then give 0. That means 0 item is passed, right? So in this way we try to handle the null. So this is, I hope you guys understood a basic concept of how do you handle null in Kotlin. And I hope to catch you in my upcoming lecture about Kotlin, where I will be explaining you more interesting concepts. Okay, and thank you guys for listening, and see you on the next lecture.